So that is the balanced chemical equation. It is copper sulfate and iron making copper and iron sulfate. Now real quick, the iron sulfate is the blue. Maybe you want to put blue underneath that. The iron looks like iron. It's that silvery gray metal. Copper, as you know, is very coppery color, and iron sulfate is actually colorless. So in question number 2, it says the copper sulfate is blue in solution, which you can see. Iron sulfate is colorless. What would happen? Observation would be made if all the copper sulfate were used up. If my copper sulfate is my limiting reactant, it won't be blue anymore. All of it will have been converted into the products, which is either coppery color or colorless. So there'll be no more blue. So that's going to be a good observation for us to know if we have any more copper sulfate solution left. But what about the next question? What about the metal? Iron itself is very magnetic. Copper is not. So if my iron is actually then in excess, how will I know that my products then would still be magnetic? There's still iron left over. If all my iron was converted into the copper, it would be no longer magnetic. So that is another observation that I would be able to notice. So I am kind of like giving you some time to write that down and let my copper sulfate get hot and hopefully all dissolve. So I'm still making sure that we're pretty good. It's about ready, and this one looks to be really close to being ready. So I could probably put my iron in there at any point. So if you're on page 9, you will see the data that you should put in the very top part for beaker 1 and beaker 2. All right, so we can't fill in the day 2 stuff yet. We will shortly, okay? I'll speed this process up. So now I'm going to put in the 2.24 grams of iron into the copper sulfate, and I'm going to put the 4.48 grams of iron into the copper sulfate. And then I'm going to stir. Stir, stir, stir. And it says for 10 minutes. I'm guessing we could probably not wait for 10 minutes, all right? Because that'd be a long video. All right, so it's going, and I'm gonna do the same thing for over here. Actually, this is starting to boil, so I need to turn down, uh-oh, Daddy.